Well, that is what you call affirmation music. That is a song by my guest today, Michele Blood, who actually is a successful, multi-talented woman that you will soon get to know. She was a successful songwriter and rock singer in Australia. And after a near-fatal car accident, while in the hospital with many serious injuries for months, she created positive affirmation songs, which she says not only healed her body, but took her to worldwide success. Affirmation songs actually affect both the left and right hemispheres of the brain. The lyrics are the left hemisphere, melody and music are the right hemisphere. So new positive messages go straight to the subconscious mind. And that's why millions of people worldwide have downloaded her affirmation power songs. She's been endorsed by the likes of Bob Proctor and Jim Canfield, the creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul. I hope you really enjoy the enlightening conversation. And stick around till the end. She has an offer, a free offer, for all of you who are listening. Michele, thank you so much for joining me today on your Daily Chocolate. Wonderful to have you with me.
Thank you, Patty. Who doesn't love some daily chocolate?
That's what I think. Yeah. Now, Michele, you have a really interesting background. I mean, you actually got your start as a rock star. I don't know if that was your start, but that's part of your history in Australia. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I was a singer. Apparently, I used to sing on the kitchen table at the age of 2 or 3. And I did my first television appearance when I was about 5 or 6. And I went on to have a great rock. I had many, many different bands over the years, cover bands. And eventually I got the most amazing musicians and we started writing all our original songs, got a record label, started doing videos, touring at one stage, 7 years nonstop. We were just very popular. And so I was living, it was a very, very tough life because when you're a female lead singer in Australia and you're singing to thousands of people that are drunk every night.
Oh gosh.
You know, different cities all over, you know, just big nightclubs. I used to have huge gigs in Australia back in the day. And
what was the name of your band?
I had a lot of different bands. LOVE, Love of Vast Experience, Clapping Hands, Glasswork.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, but this band Glasswork was the best. It was really great. We had a great record label and publishing and yeah, it was a tough life because you've got to look after your voice so much. You've got to be very, very disciplined. And I never blew a gig out, not once in all the years I was doing it. And so, you know, we were a very disciplined band. And you'll notice that the bands that blow gigs out a lot, usually you'll find the lead singers drinking or taking drugs or something. And I had to be so health conscious. So it's not romantic at all. No sex, drugs, and rock and roll for me. It was just rock and roll.
You didn't have your roadies following you around?
We had roadies. Yeah, of course, roadies. Yeah. Someone's got to do the sound and the lighting. But no, originally I didn't. I just had a little speaker system and I would do the sound and the lighting and, you know, just do little gigs all over the place. So, you know, start out really from scratch and then you just get bigger and bigger and it's,
oh my gosh,
it's pretty cool.
Do you miss that life at all?
Oh God, no, my life is pretty much the same. I mean, I still do music and albums and still do appearances and but now when I tour, I'm touring with these male best-selling authors. So I'm still touring with guys.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about that later. But so did the singing career come to an end when you had this horrendous car accident?
No. It's still, no. I've been doing it still ever since. No, it's just that the music's different.
Okay.
That's the thing.
So tell me a little bit. I know you had this car accident that had you in the hospital for months and you had some, I don't know if it was, you called it an epiphany, but you learned some really good lessons while you were there.
Yeah, I'm the bionic woman.
Oh.
I have so many steel plates and stuff in me. It's just ding, ding, ding at the airport.
Oh gosh.
Here we go again. Anyway, so one of the operations was 17 and a half hours. I was in a truck with all the musical equipment and the truck driver fell asleep after a 12-hour drive from Brisbane to Sydney. Long hours in between, you know. Anyway, so And I just got off stage, went straight to the truck driver because I wanted to make sure, because he was new, that we got our musical instrument to the gig on time in Sydney. But he fell asleep, and as he went into a telephone pole, and as the passenger, all the musical equipment and speakers went into me. So I'm this little, like, 95-pound, 5-foot girl, and I was just, boned, crushed.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was in the hospital for so long, and 17.5-hour operations. But somebody put on a cassette of the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, Patty, I wasn't interested in male entrepreneurs in America in the 20s. I couldn't care less. Why was that book the book that changed my life? Because Napoleon had a little baby infant boy born 100% deaf. And he would go into that baby's room every night and do auto-suggestion affirmations. You hear perfectly, all these wonderful things. The little boy went on to have 30% hearing. And then as an adult, he ended up becoming a very, very successful entrepreneur in the hearing aid industry. Anyway, there was something about that story that got me. I knew this auto-suggestion affirmation, never heard of that sort of thing before, would work. And so I did an affirmation. I am healed. I know I am. I love myself. I am my friend. Now, the thing is, Napoleon Hill said, with an affirmation, it has to be positive. You have to state it in the now as if it's already happened, and you have to emotionalize it for it to go into the treasury of your subconscious mind. So I was doing this affirmation, I am healed, because I wasn't healed. I love myself. I didn't. I am my friend. I wasn't. I was quite suicidal. If I could move, I think I would have, I don't know what I would have done. But anyway, so especially when you're in that sort of physical agony, just agony. Anyway, so after 2 weeks, I stopped it because the doubting mind wouldn't let it go into my subconscious mind because I couldn't emotionalize it then. So I said, this is never going to work. Be realistic, Michelle, which I'd never been in my entire life. I never listened to anyone when they said you can't do it. I'd be like, yes, I can. But I decided I was going to become realistic and just listen to what the doctor said and be a good girl. Anyway, but then 2 weeks after that, I had a full-on spiritual satori, epiphany beyond. I realized I'm a singer-songwriter. I just need to sing them. Yeah. I had my brother go out and I said, get me affirmation music. And he came back and he said, I went everywhere. There's no affirmation music. We didn't have the internet back then, so he couldn't Google it. And so I just had this little cassette player, which I always had to make sure when I got a songwriting idea, I could sing it so I wouldn't lose it off into the hemisphere. Whoa, where'd that great hit song go that I just had in my head?
Oh, yes. You can lose it between going from upstairs to downstairs. So
but I was so blessed that I read someone had written a book about Mick Jagger, and Mick Jagger said he always had a little cassette player. He said when he woke up in the middle of the night with I can't get no satisfaction. And he said, I nearly went back to sleep. And then I was like, oh, that could be something. So he sang it. Then he went to Keith Richards' place the next day and they wrote it in about 4 minutes. Anyway.
Oh, gosh.
I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'll get a cassette. Yes. So I just got someone to get a blank cassette and I just started singing, I am healed. I know I am. I love myself. I am my friend. Over and over and over again. And that's how affirmation power, musivation, positive music came to fruition. And it's been now done in so many different languages, listened to millions of times all over the globe. And that was when my new path, even though it was a different type of music, my new path came to be because I had miraculous healing, Patty. After that, listening to that every day for the next couple of months in that hospital. Journalists came to hear about this miraculous healing. The doctors couldn't believe it. It was just unbelievably miraculous. Yeah. No intention of ever having that music go out to the public, ever. It wasn't like a setup. Well, what can I do to become successful and do positive music? No, I was already living my dream, So it's very unique, this story. And I love the way our divine, our higher self, this omniscient wisdom, comes to us. There's no accidents. Everything happens for a reason. And when something positive happens for a person, and then they can share that with other people, this is how we get the ripple effect of divine magic. And I just love my life now. I love the people that I work with, everything that I do. It's just when you're in that frequency, music makes the world go around, honey. What can I say? Chocolate and music.
Chocolate. Well, I think, I mean, going back many, many years, Norman Vincent Peale, wrote a book about the power of positive thinking, but this is different in that it's music. And so why do you think that affirmation music hits people so differently and really has the power to change their mood and behavior and habits?
Well, many different reasons, but first of all, it's because the lyrics the affirmations, into the left side hemisphere of the brain. The music goes into the right hemisphere of the brain, and it goes into, it's been proven now, all the scientific studies that we've done, they're all on my websites. It goes into the brain, subconscious mind, 300 times faster. You don't have to emotionalize it. You don't have to believe it. You don't even have to like my voice or my songs, but you will because they're great. and when I worked with Bob Proctor, he didn't want a singer at his gig in Sydney, touring around Australia with him. And the promoter said, no, we're paying you to come to do this, to do your event, your Born Rich event. And this singer brings in a different type of audience as well, a younger audience. And they love it. They get up on the stage, they're doing all these affirmations, and she just brightens the place. She's doing it. And so he came backstage and he said, I didn't want to have a singer on my event. And I said, nice to meet you too, mate. G'day, Bob. And then he started laughing and he said, but this is the best thing I have ever heard in my life. He said, we teach this all over the world. All of us, best-selling authors, about affirmation, auto-suggestion. No one's ever done it to music. It's crazy. And then he wanted to know my story. And he said, okay, I want you to tell your story at the events as well, not just sing the songs. And so because of the promoters wanting me to, I ended up working with 𝗟𝗢𝗥𝗡. I ended up doing this album that he suggested for kids, affirmation songs for kids with all little baby animals. And he said my Indian accent when I did the Bengal baby tiger was better than his Indian accent. That's another story. It's all rock and roll to me.
Literally.
And so, I ended up working with Bob Proctor for many, many, many years and we based ourselves in Kuala Lumpur. Well, actually what happened was my first big event I did with Bob was in Kuala Lumpur. He flew me over there first class in Malaysia Airlines, and he had me learn the national anthem for Kuala Lumpur, and I didn't even know the language, and I had to learn it. And I had this huge big fan, and phonetically I had written the lyrics. And I had to go and find a studio the night before the event, and I'd never been to Kuala Lumpur, didn't speak the language, so I could record some music for me to sing to as the backing. Oh God, he really had me working so hard. I loved working with Bob Proctor because he left the body last year, because he was just, I've always felt of myself as like super high in vibration and creating new songs and new things and new backdrops for the band and all these different things nonstop. But Bob was just like, he had me running.
Really?
Never had that happen to me in my life before. He is so creative. He was so creative. We wrote so many programs together. My favorite one we did together was New Paradigms. Just amazing, amazing man. I mean, just anyone who met him, you would just feel the light from him straight away. And his wife actually came up with the name Musevation for the music that we did. But I've brought it back to affirmation power music now because it's more understandable. Because back then, people didn't even know what an affirmation was. I didn't. They didn't know what a paradigm was. I mean, that was all new agey to some people back then. But now,
do you think it still is?
I think no. I think people are much more educated. My father, the other day, I was speaking to him, and he said, "You're still teaching your, meditation classes?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, I actually right now I am sitting in my medication chair having a cold one."
Really?
No, it was just funny.
Yeah.
He was just being funny. But that's Aussie humor for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are like, my students come from all over the world. I've got doctors, dentists, entertainers, music teachers, homemakers. I've got people from every walk of life in over 32 countries. And it's a soul thing. It's when your soul, it might be because you've gone through a whole lot of crap in your life and you feel buggered. You're like, I can't do this on my own. I'm willing to try anything. I'll even try that stupid affirmation music. I'll just listen to it. You don't have to sing along. Just listen to it. Oh, I'm willing to do anything. Or, and then word of mouth got out, from people from all over the world, that these miraculous, if you look at the video reviews and everything, these real testimonials from people from all over the world, and the miraculous changes that happened when they started being my student in something that we call the mysticalexperience.com. And so it's fascinating. It's because someone, people go into marketing and say, oh, what type of customer do you have? I said, I don't have customers. I have family. I have soul family that come to me because they recognize something that they remember. They sort of unconsciously remember that rings true for me. I'm gonna give this a go. I'm gonna give the meditation practice a go. I don't know why, but I feel attracted to do this. And then their life changes. They either like it or they'll go to someone different. But once someone's on a path of searching for themselves and searching for a way to improve their economy, their finances, their health, whatever it is, they will keep looking. They will just keep researching and experimenting. But don't try, people. Experiment. See who you like, what works for you, because there are so many different tools out there today for you to improve your life. There's no reason for you to be held back any longer.
So, I mean, you talked a little bit about, you don't have to sing it, just listen to it.
Yeah.
Is it more effective if you sing it? I mean, does your brain say, now I really believe it?
Yes, it is better if you sing it.
Okay.
And when I do my events, it's like a little mini rock concert that we learn a whole lot of stuff about manifesting and meditation, but I get people up dancing and singing along. I love it because then they get into it. And if they can get into it, and the music is very danceable, so and positive. So but you can just listen to it.
Okay.
Because when I was in that hospital, I was just listening to my voice a cappella, just that I'd recorded.
Right.
And I just listened. I didn't sing along to it the entire time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So you can definitely, and some people, like, we've got this new app, which is brilliant for people who think they won't even be able to remember to put the music on. It's called the Magnet to Money app. And you get a notification every hour, if you like, with I'm a magnet to money. And you hear a little snippet and it reminds you, oh. And then we've got affirmations that you can listen to while you're driving with the music. We've got morning 8-minute meditations for you to focus every morning. We've got a sleep program. All you have to do is listen. This app is the most extraordinary thing I have ever put together. It's only the cost of a cup of coffee. We worked on it, put a huge amount of investment in it, worked on it for 2 years. It's an experience, Patty, this app.
So the app is called Magnet to Money?
Magnet to Money app. You can just go to magnettomoneyapp.com.
Okay.
It's an experience that is so simple because I'm a simple person. I believe in KISS. Mwah. Keep it simple and spiritual. No stupid. Keep it simple and spiritual. And this Magnet to Money app is a spiritual experience. It does it for you. And I'm so in love with it. It's only been out for 2 months and people are raving all over the world already, 5-star reviews.
That's amazing. Okay. We'll definitely put a link to that in the show notes. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So I want to ask, you also have some tips about how to stop being a complainer or blamer. I know you've got a lot of tips, but can you just give the listeners maybe one or two?
Ooh,
or maybe how to stop somebody else from being a complainer or blamer.
Okay. Now, first of all, we have to ask ourselves the question, why? Why am I complaining? Why are you complaining? You are complaining because you're afraid. You have fear. So if you're complaining, it's because you want to put icing on an unbaked cake. Not good. Only little kiddies like that stuff. You have to have a foundation. You have to be able to face your fears. So if you're complaining, that's you wanting to put a sheet over your head and not look at what you're afraid of. Because when we're complaining, we're either usually afraid of losing something that we want, or we're afraid of not getting something that we really want. And so you have to say to yourself, okay, I'm complaining because I'm afraid of something. Can I just bring it up? What is it that I'm complaining about? Because you think people, when people are complaining, they can consider themselves wise because they know that that person did it. And they're complaining about that person for a good logical reason.
Yeah.
That person sucks. Or the food is not good. They've got to complain about something because they want to shield themselves from what they're afraid of. So if you can face that, and if you can stop complaining for 21 days straight, you will spin out. 360 degrees, your life will change, because every time you complain, you are attracting into your life more things to complain about. Whoa, scary stuff, huh, Patty?
Yep.
So you have to acknowledge there is nothing to complain about. There's something within me that I'm afraid of. I'm blaming other people for stuff because I don't want to take responsibility for my own life. I have not realized that every time I say something negative or I blame somebody else, I'm creating more and more crap in my life.
Yeah.
That's really going to bog me down. And I'm a good person. I don't feel good when I blame other people. I don't feel good when I complain about stuff. It makes me feel less than. So if you can realize that and understand why you're doing it and stop. Say, for example, you've got 21 days of no complaining, Patty, right? Say, oh, whoops, all of a sudden you just decided to do it. An hour later, you hear yourself about to complain and you're halfway through a sentence on a phone call to someone. As long as you stop yourself, as long as you have awareness, when you have awareness that you're complaining, you are going up into a faster frequency, a more positive state of being, because whenever you stop yourself from saying something negative particularly about somebody else, that's not nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I always say, if you're going to talk about people, pretend they're in the room with you. Then what are you going to say?
That's a great tip. Yeah, that's a great tip.
So that's, complaining and blaming. It's just because you're in fear. Everyone goes through it. Everyone's gone through fears. It's normal, but it's not natural.
Yeah.
It is not a natural spiritual thing, but it is part of this world and we can rise above it.
Yeah.
We really, really can.
And I think it takes 21 days to change any habit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but the complaining habit, Patty, if you can stop complaining for 21 days, and if you stop, like if you're at day 20 and you complain, you have to start from day 1 again.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay. Good tips. Well, I understand that you've got an offer for our listeners.
Yay. I'm so excited.
Tell them about it.
Yay. I love giving away free stuff.
I love getting free stuff.
Yeah, everyone loves getting free stuff. The Magic of Affirmation Power ebook. It is a wonderful book. It's simple. It explains my journey plus affirmations, visualization, meditation, and very, very simple words like me. Simple, short and sweet. And the magnetic creative visualization, some of my favorite best-selling affirmation songs for success, the meditation, practice and meditation video, the 6-week course on mysticism. If you go through this video course and you follow the things that I tell you about, your life will change. You don't understand how much chaos there is in your mind if there is chaos in your home. You have to get everything in order, declutter your life, and everything makes a difference. What you see makes you feel. If you walk into a messy cupboard, you don't even realize it, but it's like, oh, close that cupboard.
Yes.
It really makes you feel good when everything's becoming zen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all of that, it's about $300 worth of our best-selling products. Oh yeah. And something that Bob Proctor and I did call daily action list. and it's got the action affirmation song, and it breaks down what a goal or intention or a worthy ideal really is and how to do it step by step. Again, very, very simple instruction. And it even if you don't know what it is that you want yet, you will by the time you finish filling that stuff out. Because some people don't know what they want. They wonder why they're not getting what they want when they haven't even stated it even to themselves yet. Oh, I just want money. No, you've got to be clearer than that. You've got to have a little bit more detail involved, folks.
Yeah. What will that money make you feel? Yeah.
It's like wake up in the morning and say, thank you for my beautiful life. And if you want to go a step further, Patty, your viewers can write down what a beautiful life. What does a beautiful life look like to you?
Yeah.
Where are you living? What is the circumstance? What does your street look like? How do you look? How do you feel? What are you eating? What are you exercising? What are you doing? Where are you traveling? What is your beautiful life? How are you traveling? You going at the back of the bus or the front of the plane?
Yeah. I totally believe that when you put those things out there, and it makes it more real,
Of course. I see it
and
every
be specific.
day. My students from all over the world, their lives improve so quickly, it makes their head spin. And that's why I said I don't wear socks, because it blows your socks off.
Yeah. No use putting them on. They're coming off. All right. Well, we will put a link to that wonderful offer. Thank you, in the show notes. And before I let you go, though, I've got some rapid fire questions for you.
Oh, you do? Wow.
So
aren't you saucy?
I know. So who's your favorite current band or singer?
Oh, still Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's a miracle.
Yeah.
His songs, his songwriting, the production, just adore Stevie Wonder. He's a wonder.
He is a wonder. And I know you've partnered with Bob Proctor, and you've partnered with the Chicken Soup for the Soul guy, Jim. What was his name?
Jack Canfield.
Jack. Okay. Who else would you want to partner with?
Well, I'm partnering with a lot of different people lately, because I'm meeting so many wonderful new younger authors and different people that are doing some. I'm creating this new product with this lady to help with fertility, the spiritual side of it as well, with people that haven't been able to get pregnant or have a baby. And I've worked with parents for years, helping them with that on a spiritual level.
Wow.
On how to attract the right sort of soul, that baby that's waiting just for those particular people. So it's not so much any famous people per se, but I think, my teacher, my enlightened teacher, Kundalini, she, I would do anything for her or with her. She's just, when you meet enlightenment, and I guess, if Yogananda was alive, Yogananda Paramahansa, but because his teachings and his books have changed my life. So, yeah. Okay.
What's your favorite rainy day activity?
Rainy day activity? Goodness me, cooking.
Oh, good.
Cooking.
All right.
Making some nice spicy Thai food.
Oh, now you're talking. What time should I come over?
Yeah, right. I love cooking Asian food, because I live in the country now and I'm not near any restaurants or anything. I've learned how to do Indian, Thai, all my favorite foods, dim sum.
Oh my gosh, that's fancy.
Yeah,
all right.
You're being saucy. I'm being fancy.
Yeah. What's on your bedside table?
Oh, books.
What book are you reading right now?
Swami Muktananda, Play of Consciousness, and also 𝗟𝗓𝗥𝗡 Gibran. His famous works.
Yes.
His complete works.
Awesome. And because this is called your daily chocolate, what's your favorite chocolate?
I like dark raspberry chocolate. I love it.
Dark raspberry. Is there a particular brand?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I can't even remember what it's called now, but it's and I like the fruit and nut, the Cadbury Australian chocolate.
Oh yeah.
Fruit and nut, the real one from Australia though. That's awesome. Love that chocolate. It's too yummy. But I do my best to have dark chocolate, because it's, it's better for you.
It's good for you. Yeah. Like this podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, Michele, thank you so much for joining me. It's been wonderful chatting and getting some of your inspiration.
Well,
And
Patty, you are a delight, you saucy girl, you.
yeah. Saucy,
I've
I'm
had
putting
so
that on
much
my
fun with
reviews.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had so much fun with you today. You're a pro, you're lovely, and thank you so much for your patience with you know what for
Oh, yeah.
internet stuff. Thank you so much, hanging in there.
You are welcome. Well, there's a boost of energy for you. I hope you enjoyed that. I love Michele. She's got so much great energy. She's so positive, and she's all about helping folks. So definitely take advantage of her free offer. Information will be in the show notes, so check that out. As I mentioned a couple weeks ago, you can now help support this podcast by clicking on the support button wherever you listen. You can choose anything from 99 cents a month to, whatever. And that helps with production costs. And I want to continue bringing you great guests. So all support is much welcomed. Be sure to stay tuned next week. I've got Donna Laughlin. Donna used to be a journalist and now helps startup companies bring really innovative products to market. She's got some great stories about products that she's been involved with and how to make sure that you can really identify those folks that have that vision to bring something like that forward. So interesting interview, and I think you'll enjoy it. Have a great week, everyone.
Before you go, please, if you want to receive some amazing high vibrational success meditation, tons and tons of free products, go to micheleblood.com/links.